Hi, good day. Welcome back to our class in Chemistry 102B, or the Analytical Chemistry. I have already read some of your introduction telling me about yourself, but there are those who did not write their introduction yet. May I remind you that this is a requirement as your activity number 1. Later, I will be introducing myself after I have introduced to you the course or the subject that you are enrolled in, which is Analytical Chemistry. Analytical Chemistry is a branch of chemistry that deals on determining the qualitative and quantitative composition of a substance. It involves the separation, identification, and quantification of matter. It involves in the classical methods together with the modern methods of determining the substances with the use of scientific instruments, such as the separation of isolates. Number 2, identification of the analyte and the concentration of the analyte in a given mixture. There are 2 sub-branches of analytical chemistry. One is the qualitative analysis, and 2, the quantitative analysis. In the qualitative analysis, this involves the determination of what is present or what are present in a sample, while the quantitative analysis involves the determination of how much is present in a sample. Going back to determining what is present or what are present in a sample, that is the concern of qualitative chemistry, we have to know what are the elemental components or the compounds the substance or the sample contains. For example, being a med tech, you are going to analyze what are the components of urine. So, in analyzing the components of the urine, there involves the qualitative analysis. So you have to take note, the urine may contain glucose, you have the urea, you have the creatinine, and etc. And for the quantitative analysis, the medtech is going to analyze how much of the sugar does this urine sample contains, how much of the creatinine does this urine sample contains, and etc. So, you need to have these 2 analyses, the qualitative and the quantitative analysis, in order to completely report the analysis of the urine. Furthermore, in the qualitative analysis, we have to look into the components of the sample, such as the elemental component and the compounds which are contained in the sample. So because we're talking about the elemental component, we have to know and recall what are these elements which could be possibly present in a sample. So when we say elements, we have to go back to the periodic table. I think you need to review your lesson in Chemistry 100B, wherein we were talking about the periodic table. To recall, we have in the periodic table, the elements are arranged either vertically or horizontally. The vertical arrangement of the elements in the periodic table is known as the family or the groups. To recall, we have family 1. It is composed of elements with a charge of positive 1. One of these elements is the sodium, or you have also there the potassium. And for family 2, we have the alkaline earth metals, and these elements have charge positive 2. Some examples of this, we have the calcium, we have the strontium, and the barium. For family 3, we have the boron family, and these elements have the charge positive 3. And examples of this, you have the boron, you have the aluminum. For family 4, we have the carbon family, and the carbon family has a charge of +4 and or -4 when it acts as a carbide. And for family 5, the elements here have a charge of -3. This is the nitrogen family. And for family 6, we have the oxygen family, and the elements here have a charge of -2. For family 7, we have the elements here which are the halogens, and their charge is -1. So to those elements with positive charges are called the cations, and to those elements having the negative charge are the anions. But of course, there are still radicals which are charged negatively. But there is only one radical which is positively charged, and that is the ammonium ion. What are the importance of studying analytical chemistry, or the role of analytical chemistry? One is, it is important in the determination of the composition of matter. Second, it is applicable in various disciplines of chemistry, which are inorganic, organic, physical, and biochemistry. Another important role of the analytical chemistry is it is also applicable to other fields of sciences, such as environmental science, agricultural science, biomedical, and clinical sciences. There is also the application of analytical chemistry in the analysis of pesticides. I think this is more of the agricultural science, wherein we use pesticides, herbicides, in our plants. So those are all about the importance of analytical chemistry. So today I have defined what is analytical chemistry, what are the sub-branches of analytical chemistry, and the importance of analytical chemistry. For your assignment, kindly read about stoichiometry based on the formula of a compound, and the stoichiometry based on the balanced chemical equation. Anyway, we have partly discussed this when you were yet in Chemistry 100B. I just want you to browse back your notes in Chemistry 100B, because analytical chemistry is involved with quantitative analysis. So stoichiometry, by the way, is where quantitative relationships can be found. So that would be all for today. This is your teacher, Professor Nisitas Ruiz of Holy Name University.